Before Jokic, before Dirk, there was a 7'3" center with a point guard's vision and a heavyweight's strength. A man who passed like magic, rebounded like Rodman, and played with a broken body. His name was Arvydas Sabonis.
People talk about Sabonis in a breath that you can't understand. Clearly, he was one of the most dominant players in the world.
And if you never saw him in his prime, don't worry. Nobody in the NBA really did. Arvydas Sabonis was born in 1964 in Kaunas, Lithuania, back when it was still under Soviet control. By the time he was 17, he was already 7 feet tall and dominating grown men in the USSR's top league. He wasn't just big, he was graceful, skilled, unselfish. The Soviets quickly realized they had something rare, a center who could stretch the floor, thread no-look passes, and lead fast breaks. By 19, he was dominating international competition, outplaying grown NBA players in the Olympics and World Championships. NBA scouts were watching, and even in the Cold War era, teams were desperate to get him. In 1985, the Atlanta Hawks tried to secretly bring him to the U.S. In 1986, the Blazers finally drafted him.
The Portland Trailblazers select Arvydas Sabonis of the Soviet Union.
But the Soviet Union said no. Sabonis would not be allowed to leave. While NBA fans only heard rumors, Europe got the full Sabonis experience. In the late 1980s and early 90s, Sabonis was unstoppable. He led the Soviet Union to a gold medal in the 1988 Olympics, outplaying a USA team stacked with future NBA stars. And when Lithuania gained independence, he led them to bronze in 1992 and again in '96. But his real legend was built in club play. In Spain's top league, Sabonis made defenders look like traffic cones. He had court vision like a point guard, a touch like a shooting guard, and the body of a heavyweight boxer. By the time he joined Real Madrid in 1995, he was already a multiple-time European Player of the Year, even after several major injuries. NBA fans could only imagine what he might have looked like if he'd been allowed to enter the league in his early 20s. But by then, it was already too late. Sabonis was a basketball genius trapped in a breaking body. By age 25, he had torn his Achilles. He played on stress fractures. He dealt with knee surgeries, ankle issues, and bone spurs. The Soviet team doctors rushed him back repeatedly, and each time it made things worse. He was once 7 feet 3 inches and mobile, but by the time he came to the NBA, he could barely jump. He ran with a limp, and he was a shadow of what he once was. But even that shadow was still a problem for the league. In 1995, at 31 years old, with 2 destroyed knees and limited mobility, Sabonis finally made his NBA debut, and he was still damn good. Coming off the bench for Portland, he averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 block in just 24 minutes a game. He used footwork, IQ, and strength to carve out space in the post. His passes were still electric, and his touch around the rim was elite. In the 1999 to 2000 season, he helped lead the Blazers to the Western Conference Finals, pushing Shaq and the Lakers to 7 games. But make no mistake, this was not peak Sabonis. His prime never touched the NBA floor. The league got his brilliance, but only in echoes. Arvydas Sabonis retired from the NBA in 2003. His numbers? Solid. His impact? Quiet, but undeniable. He never made an all-star team, never won a championship, never got a full, healthy season in the league. But players who faced him, like Shaq, Rasheed Wallace, and Vlade Divac, all said the same thing. If he came here 10 years earlier, it would have been a problem. Sabonis wasn't just ahead of his time. He was an early blueprint for the modern big man. Before Jokic, before Embiid, before Pau or Marc Gasol, Sabonis was already doing it. Passing from the high post, running the offense through a center, stretching the floor at 7 feet 3 inches, and he did it all while limping. So the question isn't just how good was he, it's What would we be saying if the NBA had met him in his prime? Would he be in the Hall of Fame in the GOAT debate? Would he have changed the game 15 years before anyone else did? Truth is, we'll never really know how good Arvydas Sabonis could have been, but maybe that's what makes his story so haunting, because every time we watch a passing big man today, we're watching a shadow of the legend we never truly saw.
This is Court Chronicles. Subscribe for more stories that change the game.